Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, joined by Jill. And we are in snowy Chicago today, of all things.
Welcome to my city. We rolled out the red carpet for you.
A lot of people ask me on this channel, what's the difference between a mid-size and a full-size? Like, which one should you buy? Because a lot of people are new into trucks or new into the marketplace and they're curious. And look what we have. We have a mid-size and a full-size, happen to be the same brand. So we thought we'd do a snowflakes and the eyeballs. Thought we'd do a walk around and talk to you about the differences to mid-size and full-size. We have this Tacoma, right? The Trail Edition?
Yep. So this is the SR5. It has the Trail Edition package on it, which is about $3,500, and it has a couple of other extra features. The technology package, there's some accessory items, there's some TRD things on here. So all in, you're looking at about $45,000 for this specific truck. And one of the things I have to say, and I'm assuming this is a part of the trail package, that I love on this vehicle, and this has nothing to do with the fact that it's midsize, I love these bronze accents. Some trucks it works on, some trucks it does not work on. This truck it works on. The Honda Ridgeline we had, that did not work. But this, and they're like more of a muted bronze, so I like that. And you've also have it on the wheels, and these bronze wheels work, a lot of bronze wheels do not work. So this package, the paint and everything, I love it. I think it looks really great.
Yeah, I would agree. It definitely stands out. It looks pretty good when it's wet. Like, well, we have, because it's all wet.
When it has like a whole bunch of snow on it.
Hey, knock it up. All right, so one of the things people always want to know on mid-size and full-size, and this is great, I have Van White with me today, is the ability to get in the cabin and the ability to have room in the cabin plus have bedroom. So let's start with this mid-size.
Okay.
We have the entry and Jill seating position. So,
yeah,
you know, Jill is the 5-foot wonder, right? So there's plenty of room for her to sit in the truck. What headroom do you have?
So, I mean, I did actually kind of brush my head when I was coming in, so it's definitely, and I'm 5 feet tall. So that is, I can see we've had these discussions before. This is definitely a little bit tight, especially for somebody who is not me. But, you know, keep in mind, I do have my seat in the far forward position. But, I mean, I probably have about 6 inches between my head and the top of the ceiling, but I have pushed my seat up. I have pushed it forward. So, I mean, this does go down. Right. So, there's room for...
Right. The biggest thing that people need to know is that you can fit yourself, and you can probably fit one other occupant in here, and you'd be okay, right? If you get two big guys in there, a little tight. But this is the big difference between mid-size and full-size. People try to do family trucks with these mid-size.
Right.
And it's right here. This is the issue. Yeah. Is that this, I mean, so her seat all the way forward, right? You can fit a massive linebacker from the NFL in back here. But when the seat's in that position, trying to do a backwards facing car seat for infants or trying to fit 4 adults back here really is the problem. It's even though it's a crew cab truck, I'm telling you, this is really more for backseat storage than it is fitting 4 people.
I mean, it's like, in a way, you're looking at a mid-size truck as kind of like a mid-size sedan.
Right.
Maybe even more along the lines of a compact sedan, because again, you're not going to have a lot of room in the back, especially if you have a dude who has a bigger driving position than I do, which is everybody. But you know, and I've never had to deal with car seats, so Tim definitely has more information on that than I do. But yeah, I mean, putting car seats back there, putting normal, regular adults back there, that's going to be a little bit tough if you were looking at this as a family truck.
Right, and so everything else works fine. You have a radio, everything's near you. You have the shifter, you have cup holders. Everything else is, I mean, there's not really apples to apples difference there. We do have a payload here of 990 pounds. We're going to talk about more on that in a minute. So we have a little bit lower payload with this than other, they're not really mid-size, but some mid-size trucks, like what was it, the compact Ford Maverick had like 1,400 pounds of payload. But so if you're going to haul more stuff, you want to have the bigger truck for more bed space, right? So this is a 5.5 foot bed. You want that somebody last night decided to check out what's in there. Naughty people, naughty. Anyway, so you have this 5 foot bed. And you can see, like, all right, so I'm gonna stand right here. I can reach down and get stuff out of the bed. well, over in this container. I can't reach all the way in. When Jill comes up here, so it's about 4'7". It's probably your height there.
Yeah.
Judging on Jill's height there. So, but you do have the bed step, which
I know. I was gonna say, you want to know what else it has? Let's. Another thing that I can't. Oh, I could get it this time.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to weigh more than 98 pounds to get that. All
Apparently.
right. So that's one of the things. Like, so you have a little shorter bed. You can reach into the bed a little easier if you're taller. So if you're, really, if you're by yourself and you want to haul stuff in here and you want to be able to use the truck to be able to get stuff in easily, this is probably going to work for you. And the other thing too is that's snowy Chicago, and I drove this into town, and I will tell you that this fits better in the city than that. You can do a full-size truck in town. I've seen some guys with some dualies driving around, which I'm damn impressed with. But it does. But everyday life in a city, and like this, you said fit in your garage.
Yeah.
That didn't.
Yeah.
This does. So if garage is a big thing for some people. So garage fitting, parking, and overall drive around town. I think you had a better time driving than I did.
I did. So I mean, and interestingly enough, I had the Tundra just a couple weeks ago. So I did have the opportunity to drive this in the city and see how it did. It did not fit in my garage. I had to parallel park it on the street, and luckily the around view cameras allowed me to like wedge myself into a spot that was just as big as the truck. But this is not a struggle to drive. And I mean, yeah, okay, we have these really narrow two-way streets that sometimes you have to like pull off and let somebody pass you before you can go down. But this is not as stressful for me to drive as something like that is to drive. And I wouldn't, there are certain streets that I wouldn't take this truck on because I didn't want the stress of it. Whereas this, I would probably take that chance and drive there. And it's just easier to maneuver. And I did take this down to Indianapolis. I went to go visit my parents, and it's really comfortable on the highway too. And so you get enough of the high sit height, kind of like an SUV. So you get the sit height, but it feels more comfortable, easier to maneuver, and it was really comfortable. So yeah. This is more of a Jill size truck, more of a city size truck. Right,
and so for $15,000 more, right, you go full size. But
right.
That's the thing, people always want to say, well, why would you spend the $45 on that when you can spend like 50 on this or 55 on this, 60 out the door? You get more capability with this, but as we talked about, it's your circumstance. So like me in Nebraska, this feels almost small in Nebraska compared to what we have space out there, but it does feel a little bit bigger in the city. And as you come around the sides, we have a taller truck. Like, Jill saying next to this hood here, you can see the differences there in overall height between that and this.
Yes.
And then inside the cabin, that is mostly clean, you have just more space. This is really, I tell people all the time, this is like the minivan pickup truck, right? So you have that space to carry people in here a lot better. A family of 4 fits in here a lot better. Car seats fit a lot better in the back because I have some stuff back here. Ignore the stuff, but car seats in the back fit a lot better than they would in the midsize truck. So when you have a family and you're hauling kids around, stuff like that, this does work better for that. However, the bed height, right? So let me show you this one. So, I can't reach in there.
No, and this is
Jill can't see over there, right? So, right? So, if you're going to use your bed more, right? That midsize where actually even the compact Maverick would be, or Santa Cruz would be more you want to be with that, using a bed. Now, there is a bed step on this that I have to install. It's in the back of the truck. I just haven't gotten to it. But yeah, so you have a whole different animal when it comes to the bed. Now, one of the interesting things that we were just kind of talking about is payload, right? So payload, let me explain this in the easiest terms. Payload is everything you put in the truck beyond what the truck already has in it, right? So my water bottle, myself, my hat, my bags, that is all payload.
But
and no,
fuel is not payload.
Fuel is not, thank you. I was like,
fuel
I hear that.
Payload.
I hear that comment all the time. And Ford does not put payload numbers in with a driver. Nobody does. It's always the gross vehicle weight rating minus curb weight equals payload. That's how that works. So in this truck, we have 1,400 pounds of payload. So I can haul about 500 more pounds of people, of rock, of whatever in the bed, even though the bed sizes aren't dramatically different. Yeah, I have a little more cargo volume in this bed being a full size versus that compact, but really overall weight, you have that differences. So, again, more seating position. And then, one of the things that people always talk about is fuel economy. I go smaller, mid-size, I get better fuel economy.
Unless you're me.
Right? No, it's not really
so
true.
What was your fuel economy when you drove to Chicago? So that was like a 14-hour drive.
Yeah, I think it's like 18 and a half, 19, something like the range.
Okay, so I had 6 hours to and from Indianapolis. What do you think my fuel economy was?
15.
Actually, I did better than that. I was 17.
Right. So I mean, that's the thing. People think, well, I'm going to go smaller, get better fuel economy. That's really not the case. I've really never seen that, except if you go the hybrid version of the Maverick, you do get better fuel economy there. But really, there's no fuel economy differences between full size and midsize. There's some weight differences. It's really room in the cabin. Yeah. It's usability in the city or in a garage, park in the garage. Yep. And access to the bed. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you completely nailed it. It depends on what you're using the truck for. You know, are you driving it as your everyday driver that you occasionally need to put stuff in the bed and occasionally need to help your friends move? By the way, never say yes to that. Pizza's not enough. You know, is it more of an occasional truck, but more of an everyday car? Or is it something that you are using more frequently? You're going to be hauling, you're going to be towing, you're going to be, you know, putting stuff in the back, you're getting mulch, you're getting rocks, you're getting boards, whatever. So, I mean, if you're going to do a pro-con spreadsheet between mid-size and full-size, those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Do you care if it fits in your garage? Does this fit in your garage, actually?
It would if I didn't have so much kids stuff in my garage.
Okay, so I mean, Nebraska, this would fit in a garage. Chicago, it doesn't fit in a garage.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just, those are the questions. Pros, cons. You know, fits in the garage, doesn't fit in the garage. And I will say, whenever anybody is looking for a car, the one thing that I tell people to do is ask your dealer for a 24-hour test of the vehicle, and because then that way you can bring the vehicle home and see if it fits in your life. Because I'll tell you, sometimes the tape measure lies. You think it's gonna fit and you're like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. But until you actually try to park it in your garage, like my alley is very narrow. And so like in theory, like certain vehicles should fit in my garage, but I can't turn it enough to fit it in there because it's too long. So, or I have to like do this maneuver around the trash cans, but you need to put it into your life to see how it fits for you and what compromises you're gonna have depending on, you know, what you need it for. So 24-hour test, park it in your garage, put your kids' stuff in the back. I mean, maybe don't go haul and get rocks and put them in the back, but
right.
But get an idea of how it's going to fit in your life. Put your car seats in the back. Do it with both the midsize and the full size, because maybe you're okay with not having a lot of space in the back for your car seats, and you only need one car seat back there. You know, and maybe that works for you, but you're not going to know until you put it in your life, and you don't want to spend $45,000 on a truck and get it home to realize that it doesn't fit in your life.
Yeah. Don't do that. Also, when it's snowing outside in Chicago, you go inside and get something warm, right?
You do, and you have eyelash, you know, the snowflakes that are sticking to your eyelashes.
But, you know, I do have to agree with one more thing you said about tape measures lying. I'm actually a skinny guy. The film doesn't work right and tape measure's wrong.
And the jacket is really puffy.
Absolutely. There you go. For more on this channel, check out the video over here, website down below. As always, thanks for watching. We will see you down the road.